You are tuning in to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub. It's a rainy day here in downtown Conroe, but we are coming live from the heart of downtown every week, live every Thursday, 104.5 FM, 106.1 FM. You can also listen live on irlonestar.com. You can find us on every podcast feed. You can talk to us.
Ever created.
You can talk to us on Facebook, the Ticket Stub Podcast. Find us on Twitter at _Ticket Stub. And you can also email us, theticketstubpodcast@gmail.com.
irlonestar.com/TTS.
That's how you find us on the web, on the interwebs.
Yeah.
If you go right to
any question you have, you go to that website. It has Twitter, has Facebook, has our podcast. Has all, just do that. You don't have to go through this whole thing.
Okay, well,
all right, get it together.
Dick's trying to plug his website over here.
Senior.
Excuse me. Well, we got Dick, Connor, and Chris in studio. We also are here in a little bit going to have our friend Charles from the What's Good Houston podcast come on. For the show today, we're going to do some rapid fire news. We're going to rewind movies from the last week, and then we're going to hit some hot takes.
Hot take.
And give away 2 tickets.
And we're going to give away tickets to the Grand. Don't step on my hot takes, Dick. Dick's takes may be a little too hot. We're going to have to call him. We're going to throw some water on him. He was getting a little offensive in the before we came on.
I was just trying to understand the game.
Yeah. Well, he didn't really know what a hot take was so much.
Where did that term come from?
I think sports maybe is where I heard from. You know, people would say things and it was.
I thought you made
so
it
you
up.
You just go to somebody and be like, hey, what's your hot take on the World Series baseball?
I don't think you ask someone. No, this game it's exactly what I did here. But I think you don't normally say like, hey, what's your hot take? I think normally people would give an opinion and you'd say, ooh, that's a hot take.
Nice hot take.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
I've never used that in my life. I've never even heard that.
Yeah.
I just said you're a bad person.
That's a hot take.
That Chris is a bad person is a hot take. That's right. Because he's not. The popular opinions that Chris is not a bad person, right, Chris?
It depends on who you ask, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so anyways, it's not a term we made up for the show. It's actually a really, really, really popular term.
Now you're just trying to justify it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you nerds. You're talking about Warcraft for 10 minutes. If you watch ESPN one time, I guarantee you'll have heard the word hot take.
I don't know.
I've heard
exactly.
I've
you
heard
watch
fresh take. Fresh take?
What does that mean?
I don't. It means it's something that's new.
Is that like
and
what
fresh?
It feels like what they say like in a deodorant commercial. Be like, "Ooh, fresh take over here with our Alpine Fresh deodorant."
Could be.
Yeah, maybe so. All right. Well,
great start.
Glad that we wasted so much time talking about hot takes. If you don't know what that is,
I'm just disappointed both those things have nothing to do with bathroom stuff.
Oh, a hot take.
I think you're getting that confused with Upper Decker.
Well, what's the fresh take of the Upper Decker?
Oh man, no hot take.
After the hot take.
Hot take could be a great term for a Tooski. You're like, oh, sorry, hey, don't go in there. I just had a hot take.
Tooski. I've never heard that either.
Well, okay, we're dropping
We're
new terms on
expanding
you.
my knowledge today.
That's right. Chris doesn't.
Great. That's great.
Chris doesn't get out very much, but it's okay.
Because you could say this movie was a big hot take.
Okay, now okay. All right. Well, the show so far has been a hot take. Uh-oh. Now it's Chris's turn.
No, it's not going to
He's
happen.
all right.
going to lose it.
Oh, my goodness.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna start the show off by doing a little rapid fire news, and then we'll go from there. Man, we're off to a great start here. Okay, first, we're gonna break down several news stories rapid fire style. Try to keep thoughts short, everybody. But the first thing, HuffingtonPost.com. There was a movie with John Travolta that was supposed to come out on the 15th of this month, just a few days from now. The Gotti film. And it was delayed. It was pulled from its release, and they're trying to find new distribution. Basically what happened is that they had a kind of a limited release. The studio decided they didn't like how it was all happening, so they pulled it, and they're trying to find a new distribution, new plan. What do you guys, I mean, are red flags going up when you hear that?
Oh, big time, yeah. You got to figure there may be an allegation coming or something. I know he's had some in the past. So
it would not be the first.
It seems like studios are doing a preemptive strike now. Like even networks are just kind of taking care of the problem before it actually gets out there. I'm not saying that that's what this is, but it does have the grumblings of it possibly.
And it's super believable because Travolta's like a major creep, right? Like, is that a hot take, or are we all in on Travolta being a super creep?
It's a fresh take.
It's a fresh take. So a fresh take's like a new hot. Could there be a fresh hot? So fresh and so clean take?
I think it's neither. Like everyone knows he's a Scientologist, so
Right.
it's like his movies in the past 10 years have kind of flatlined.
So do you think it's legitimately about distribution, or do you think there's something more happening?
I think it's probably a combination of both. I mean, you think they actually had a phone conversation? They called John. John, you got to tell us who'd you touch. And then they were like, what are you talking about? We need to know before we do this Gotti film release.
I think they just call Travolta with that like once a week, just in case. You know,
I would be really upset if
Who did
someone
you touch?
accused me of like, who did I touch? And I'm like, I didn't touch anyone. Well, we're going to have to pull this movie if something comes out.
Show me on the doll where you touched him.
Yeah, you think that's what they did
I
to John?
probably not. Oh, so he's married to what's his Kelly Preston?
Kelly
right?
Preston, yeah.
What's that relationship like, by the way?
She was in the movie. You know that, right?
Okay, yeah, that's right.
She plays the wife in
Yeah.
the movie, in Gotti.
Man,
They even have a poster, so it was really close to release.
Yeah.
December 15th. I mean, it's not this weekend, but the next. I mean, I'm sure y'all were lining up to have it at the Grand.
Honestly,
I don't think
if
so.
I really
too
had to
limited?
guess,
Yeah.
if I really had to guess, it's because Star Wars is coming out, and that's going to overshadow everything for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And
but-
so, if you're trying to make as much money from a movie and it's a crime movie, release it around Oscar time before Oscar. I mean, they're not trying to go for Oscar season, are they? Is that what's
No,
going
I
on in this movie?
Can't imagine.
I don't know.
So-
But here's the deal. Then you should fire everyone who works for that studio because you arranged it to come out. Like, it's not like they just realized Star Wars was coming out. I've been seeing stuff for like over a year that's talking about the release of this Star Wars movie. So if that's what it is, then they're all incompetent. And maybe that's some of what it is as well. It'll be interesting. Keep your Travolta news refreshed because I wouldn't be surprised if something drops. And it'll probably be super creepy and weird. If there is news about him. Don't want to besmirch Travolta unjustly, but
Well, Chris has no fear of doing that.
ouch.
What?
Wow.
Well, it was just an idea.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
Well, we'll see. Okay, so moving on, the New York Times has posted a list of the top 10 best movies of the year, and you can go find that on NewYorkTimes.com. I wanted to see from you guys if anything stuck out, any of the 10 movies. Did you feel like anything didn't make the list that you thought should have?
I felt like I didn't know what half the list was.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, like people.
This is like a
who knows
hipster-
what those movies are,
This is like a hipster Oscar critic kind of a list.
and why isn't the It movie on there?
I had that same thought.
Yeah.
It feels like that was
I mean, if you're going to put Wonder Woman on there,
hot take.
I'm just saying, like, it's
That was
top,
a great
top
movie.
10.
I mean, that was a great movie.
yeah.
Like the average reviews I got, it was better than because it was better than the last one that sucked. So that's not really saying much.
I don't know about that. I think Wonder Woman was seen by most people as a really good movie.
Well, then that's a hot take.
Hot take. All right. So, but I mean, there was felt like a lot that got left off. Quickly, it was Wonder Woman, A Quiet Passion, never heard of it. Phantom Thread, never heard of it. Oksha, heard of it, didn't see it. That's about like a giant pig or something. It's some Chinese.
Oh,
or-
yeah.
It's like Korean maybe. Lady Bird in theaters now. Haven't seen
Hold on,
it.
you haven't heard of Phantom Thread?
No.
I don't know what that is either.
Daniel Day-Lewis, bro.
Is it?
It's coming out. I don't know why it's on this list. It hasn't even released yet.
Okay.
Oh, if it hadn't even come out yet, well, no wonder. You know, I live in the
Where-
moment.
what-
I don't
what-
live in the future.
Where do you read these things? Where do you find these sources? This is the worst list.
It's the New York Times.
Well, they're horrible at their job then.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a hot take, but that's a fair opinion to have.
Well, it's like we're so cool and elite, we get to see these movies before they're out, and then we put them on a list.
Well, here's what they
Or
did.
they probably took some cash and like put Phantom Thread on this list, bro.
Little payola. Here's where the movie business gets confusing because they'll release it in New York to like one theater and they'll call it, and that's how all these Oscar movies work because they have to have been released before the end of the year to be for the Oscars. But most people don't know about them until January, right? Because January is the big month when all the Oscar movies are in real theaters. But they've been released in New York, LA for weeks leading up to that. And so I'm sure that's what happened with Phantom Thread. It's probably in like 2 theaters right now.
Well, I got a
The
question
Burris
for you,
would know.
though. On this article, and number 10 was Wonder Woman. Patty Jenkins is quoted, "I've always loved Wonder Woman in all her imperfections."
Okay.
What imperfections does Wonder Woman have? I'm trying to figure this out.
She's kind of hard to understand sometimes.
Yeah.
No, no, she's talking about the character.
accent.
She's talking about the character, not the movie. Because she grew up loving Wonder Woman.
Overly strong for her size. I mean,
Yeah, kind of tall. I don't know. Maybe most guys don't
trouble-
want their girlfriend to be
trouble
taller.
fitting in.
Including the old TV show.
Adjustment disorder.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't really get this. I mean, this is a weird list. If you look at what the reason they're choosing these movies, that's really weird.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these movies are ones that I've heard like critically to be good. Lady Bird's supposed to be really good. Get Out, really good. Florida Project, that was a real small movie, but I heard that it was good. Didn't see the next two.
I'm surprised Mother with an exclamation point wasn't on it.
I think that was pretty mixed reviews. I think people loved it and hated it. Okay, but anything else that should have like so Dick, what should be on the list then?
Oh, I don't have the power to say anything like that because I have the worst movie choices. Like I know I like bad movies.
Yeah.
So
well, for me,
Christmas Train.
The Christmas Train.
There we go. Hot take.
What I would have tried to put on there, I really liked that comedy, The Big Sick, with the comedian Kumail Nanjiani. I don't know if y'all heard or saw that. I think it's on Amazon now. You could stream it. Also, I really liked Baby Driver. I know that was one that didn't get as much love, but I thought that was a really good movie.
Well, they announced they're going to make 2 sequels to it.
The Baby Driver?
Yeah.
All right.
So is that Kevin Spacey's last movie?
Well, knock on wood or whatever, thanks to the luck gods, he died in the movie. Spoiler. But so they don't have to bring him back or anything.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, also there's a list on rollingstone.com. Dick, it's this website and magazine that's been around.
You mean the one that they accused those people of raping somebody and then they were wrong about it? And then
don't say rape.
Like that happened, right? That was the same publication, and they're getting sued now. Is that what's happened for fake news?
I don't know. Is
Rolling
that what
Stone?
Are y'all serious? Y'all haven't heard about this?
No.
They published a report about some dude doing some really bad stuff.
Yeah.
And it's completely false. And it ruined him. Like, are you serious?
No, we
No,
don't.
And
I
they
have no idea.
knowingly reported it, and like they weren't supposed to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this breaking news?
No, this is past like 6 years. It was a long time because they were suing each other. They were suing them, and I mean it was a really big deal.
So what you're saying is this worst movies of the year list might not be accurate.
It might not be. It could be.
Yeah.
There might have to be
Yeah.
some retractions.
Okay,
and
well-
I agree because there's something in here I'm not happy about. Well, there is.
So Rolling Stone had a top 10 worst movies. I'm gonna run them real quick. Emoji Movie. Sorry, Dick. Suburbicon. Daddy's Home 2. That's what you're gonna. Yeah. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Mountain Between Us. The Mummy. Song to Song. 50 Shades Darker. The Dark Tower. And Transformers: The Last Night. Chris, I know you like Daddy's Home 2.
I do.
Defend it for us real quick.
Well, I have a simple mind. As if people cannot. Everybody knows that.
yeah, the way you're talking right now is very clear that you have a simple mind.
Yeah, so when I go to the movies, I don't like to think about stuff. I mean, I want to think about what I'm watching. I just want to be entertained.
Except for the actress in, was it Full House?
Yeah, no, Kirk Cameron's wife.
Kirk Cameron. What does that have to do?
I don't know. Dick just
So,
bro code, Dick.
yeah.
Oh.
So this movie is not for someone of a high-end television level that has to
Has
enjoy
Will
it. I can't even
Fer- it has
talk.
Will
I can't
Ferrell
even
in
talk
it.
about
But this movie has a place in your heart, though, and it deserves
does, yeah.
respect for being what it is.
It is not the worst movie of the year.
Well, I feel like these
What's the
kind of
seventh
lists shouldn't say the worst. It's just like looking at the list, just say like 10 most disappointing movies, because a lot of these movies had a lot of hype.
Okay.
Like The Dark Tower, that was going to be really cool, but then it really wasn't really cool. Like the fact that Suicide Squad, I didn't see it on this list. Like that movie was really bad.
Yeah, really bad.
And it was very disappointing, and that should be on the list, but it's not. So this list, crap.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. Pretty much every movie on the list was bad that I saw. I didn't see Daddy's Home 2. I'm sorry, but I would say Dark Tower has to be the worst movie of the year. The fact that it's only
You didn't watch the Emoji
the
movie,
fact that
man.
it's only the second to worst movie this year, but at least Emoji Movie, I feel like kind of knew what it was. Emoji Movie knew that it was a stupid kids movie from the start. It's a movie based on emojis. The Dark Tower thought when they were making this, I guarantee they were walking around like, oh, this is groundbreaking. Wow, this is really going to change the way people think about science fiction.
I highly doubt it.
I'm just telling you, dude, McConaughey thought he was making art. He
He thinks that every time.
Well, that may be true, but he convinced Idris Elba, I think, that he was also it was
I bet you he was good in it though.
Idris.
No, McConaughey. I bet he was.
No, he wasn't good.
He wasn't?
No, it was bad. It was so comical, so cartoonish, so ridiculous in my opinion. Okay, so Dick, did you ever see Valerian? Because I actually heard that it was a pretty decent. It was an decent movie.
I want to though.
But it's gotten a lot of hate. Yeah,
I'll watch it.
I need to come back. I need to actually watch it at some point. But it made this list. I think that was maybe disappointment though, because people thought.
No,
it was
if you
gonna
look at
be-
this list, a lot of it is the disappointment. Like The Mummy, that had Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is usually a hit.
Mummy was bad.
So disappointment.
Yeah.
And 50 Shades Darker, what do you think you're getting into?
No, you saw that one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
A
did.
little sheepish, yes. And was it really bad?
I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in it. I still don't know. Like, I don't know who the good guy is. I don't know who the bad guy is. They have to make it real simple. Like, it has to be a John Wick
Chris,
plot.
you love it, man.
Yeah. It sounds like. Well, he says it's too complicated for me.
I want a John Wick plot, and then we're good.
Yeah. As far as the best movies of the year, that was another one I didn't talk about. John Wick. I feel like John Wick 2 was one of my favorite movies. It was really good.
Well, it's really hard to put on a judging plate if you have someone like Daniel Day-Lewis, and then you have somebody like Keanu Reeves. Like, I think Keanu Reeves is a fantastic actor. I love it in everything he's in, even like The Lake House, because that was a great movie, and because it was so good, it's so bad. But because you imagine what you could do with that mailbox?
Yeah, when I was listening back to our show, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. What would you do with that mailbox?
No, we don't have time to talk about this.
I said I'd shake hands through it.
Yeah,
That's the extent of what I would do.
that's the most you would do.
That's the most.
Yeah, for sure. We got to stop. All right, we got to go to break.
It's just physically impossible if you think about it. If you're trying to go the other way, it's physically impossible for most people. Not me, obviously not me, but it's most people. You know, I would say most people would have trouble, but not me. But I just choose not to do that.
We have to go to break. Oh, when we come back, we're going to rewind movies from last week, and we're going to be joined by our special friend Charles from the What's Good Houston podcast. Stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Hey guys, I'm Joey Savage.
Corey DLG.
We are Nerd Thug Radio. Catch us every Monday from 1 to 3 and check out our website, nerdthugradio.com.
We like to talk about quilting, horseback riding, and baking quiche.
Actually, we don't, but we do like talking nerdy to you.
That's right. Every Monday from 1 to 3 p.m., hashtag talking nerdy to you.
All right, we've composed ourselves. We're back on the Ticket Stub. If you missed our first segment, you missed some rapid fire news and some hilarity ensued. We're going to rewind movies we've seen in the last week. A little later on the show, we're going to do some hot takes. So stick around for that. We're becoming more familiar with that term as the show goes on. But right now, we're joined by our special friend, special guest. Special friend sounds like how old people say you're dating, right? I don't mean it like that. Our special guest, Charles from the What's Good Houston podcast. Charles, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Charles actually, he sat in and kind of checked out a show a couple weeks ago, and then we were able to actually get him on.
Does the podcast have top 10 lists? Because it's what's good.
No, it's just pure nonsense, really.
Okay.
It's I mean, like, is Thanksgiving the least sexiest holiday? That's kind of what we do. We just help people kill time.
Yeah. So is it?
I would say Easter.
Because of the religious aspects or what?
No, the rabbits.
But Jesus is so hot.
Are rabbits an unsexy animal?
To me.
Top 5 of the least sexiest animals.
Top 5
yeah.
least sexy
Right.
animals.
But
Ready
on
to
that
go.
list,
Martin.
turkey has to top rabbit and least sexier animals.
Well, that's true. And plus, turkey makes you sleepy.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see numbers on like what sexual encounters happen at the holiday. What is the least sexiest, and what is the
I
most
feel like
sexiest?
Thanksgiving's got a good chance because you're fat.
Our biggest
You're
segment
full.
was major holidays, but I mean, Thanksgiving really could top it all. There's no costumes. There's no presents.
What about Arbor Day?
Ooh.
I guess, but if you plant a tree and your chick's like into the earth or
If you're
whatever.
vegan, yeah.
Yeah, that could be a big movie.
Groundhog
That's a big
Day.
turn on.
But that movie had some...
That's got implications right there.
No, you have to say the holiday has to have a USA holiday. Like you get off work in school.
Yeah.
So
See, there you go.
You
That's
think-
how our show goes. You guys just
So this
witnessed
is it.
2 minutes of it. Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the What's Good Houston podcast, remote edition. Okay, so we're going to try to focus back on movies for a few minutes. We're going to rewind the movies. Charles is going to hop in as well. We do this every week. We talk about what we've seen over the course of the last week. Chris, were you able to check out a movie this week?
I watched Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond, featuring a very special contractually obligated mention of Tony Clifton. That's the title.
Okay.
It's about the behind-the-scenes footage of Jim Carrey during the making of Man on the Moon.
Okay, I've been hearing about this.
Which it was really cool. And
Yeah.
the studio kept the footage quiet for a long time because they didn't want Jim Carrey to look
20 years, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they didn't want him to look bad and hurt the movie.
But he's been doing that himself lately, right?
Well, I guess so. But he actually sits down for this specific movie and talks about it. But he is in character as Andy Kaufman, who, if you don't know who that is, he's a great comedian from the 70s and 80s. He is in character as him 100% of the time, whether the cameras are rolling or not. And you get to kind of see the difficulty that the other actors went through because they could only address him as Andy. And the director was the same way. He'd say, "Oh, Andy, will you please do this?" And Jim would be like, "Yeah, okay, well, you'll do that." It was very intense.
He's like a bad version of Daniel Day-Lewis. He gets into method acting, but over a comedian. And like he tells you in that movie, like, I felt possessed by Andy Kaufman.
Yeah,
it's really, really strange. It's a great watch, though. Yeah,
it really is.
So that Man on the Moon, it came and went. I never was able to see it. Do you need to have seen Man on the Moon before you watch Jim and Andy?
I think it helps. Yeah, that's a great movie, though. If you haven't seen it, it's an excellent movie. I mean, his performance is great. I would say it's probably in the top 20 of all time performances.
Would you say if I bought the DVD, this should come with it?
It should have originally, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Walmart box set for sure.
Definitely.
Remember the $5 bin?
Yeah. Okay, so this was it's a straight up documentary, behind the scenes look.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, you said?
It is, yeah, it's on Netflix.
All right, but one that people should check out.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, really good stuff. All right, Dick, what about you, man?
Okay, so the movie I was originally going to do comes out today, so that's what I was like going to spend my time watching. So I'm going to pull one back that I've watched not too long ago. I watched Kong Skull Island.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about that. I'm kind of hoping in my mind we haven't talked about that.
I feel like maybe I did, but I can't remember. But let's go ahead.
It was
a while ago.
On HBO, and I kind of want to see it because I didn't realize this was the same universe as the new Godzilla movies until the very end. There's a little credit at the end, and I was like, oh, cool. So it's Kong Skull Island. It is almost a 2-hour movie. The movie itself, the actors and the scenes are well shot. I think... the only thing I would say that's negative about the movie, they didn't really do anything different. If that makes sense. It's a very entertaining movie for 2 hours. It has John Goodman, who I always think he sells everything really well. He's a very good actor. Samuel L. Jackson, though, he's now become the actor in my book. Like, if he's in it, I don't like it. Yeah. Because it takes me out of the world.
Yeah, he is not trying to act anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's just there to yell.
Yes.
I mean, in pretty much every movie.
Yes.
And I think there's a portion of people that really like that. Like, it makes them laugh. But I agree. It's pretty distracting mostly.
And then also Tom Hiddleston is in it. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah, right? Hiddleston.
He just a word of advice to producers or casting directors. He's too good looking.
Okay.
So if you're gonna cast him in a role that he is a jungle adventurer and like a Harrison Ford, kind of you gotta make him look scruffy. If he's the number one guy that can take you to uncharted lands, he can't look as smooth. And
they need the makeup director from Wonder, right?
Yes, exactly. Or just do Owen Wilson as active.
Well, he is in the running to be the next James Bond after.
Well,
Daniel Craig,
and that's what kind of bothered me about him because every movie he's in, he's too good looking, and I'm like, all right, this is typical, but that kind of stuff. One thing I did like about the movie is the deaths. It does have that classic monster movie, like this dude gets ripped in pieces and all that kind of stuff. So I like that. So I would encourage people to watch it if you're looking for a cool monster.
Did you like the size of King Kong? Like, was it? Because I know I've seen the movie and he's just ginormous Godzilla size.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the plot itself kind of plays on like it's the playground for Kong. Yeah. And I think the size was really neat, and his interactions with people or the environment was really well done. But like I said, the plot, they had monsters come from the core of the earth, and they're kind of leading into the next movie, like where Godzilla came from, and all that kind of stuff. But
did you like John C. Reilly in it?
Yeah, he wasn't that bad. I liked how they continued on with that plot. Because when they kind of connected him that he was the downed pilot from World War II and somehow the island keeps you young, like that kind of thing, it was kind of, I didn't really get it. But then at the end when he goes home, they have footage, they continued the plot. That was kind of neat because that was the only thing that was consistent in the movie.
Was he serious or was he more wisecracking in this movie?
He was both. He was insane. He went and because basically the opening scene is him and his Japanese airplane crash on the island, and they run into Kong while they're fighting. It's actually kind of neat. But then the next thing you see him, he's living with the tribes people there for 30, 40 years. And so he's long hair, beard. He's just he's loony. And it's
really funny about him, too, because he's been acting for a long time. So if you watch older movies like Gangs of New York, where he's a serious actor, but people now know him as Step Brother, you're like, when is he going to crack a joke? Like, when is he going to be naked or say something profane? It's really funny to watch him be serious.
Well, he definitely played that fine line of doing jokes, but he wasn't being intentional because he said he hasn't been part of society for 40 years. But I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for an adventure movie, especially if they make the next Godzilla and any type of big monster movies from the early 50s and 60s, like they kind of alluded to at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I think Simple Chris and people like that. This would be no, I'm just kidding.
Is that my new nickname?
Yeah. No, this is really good. Like I think this is a good turn your brain off, watch an action movie that you don't have to worry too much about the plot. Just be there, enjoy it, and it's got to be streaming by now. How did?
Yeah, it's on HBO.
HBO.
It was on HBO Go.
All right, Charles. What you said you saw a movie in the last few weeks? What were you able to catch?
I saw Suburbicon.
Okay, one of the top 10
Top
worst
10
movies.
worst movies.
Top 10 of the worst movies, and it absolutely lived up to that.
Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. How far can I go into spoilers? Because I know it's still in the
Just do it.
theater.
Who cares? We don't care about the
It's
audience.
really bad. If I had enough money, I would pay people not to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Matt
You're not
Damon-
affiliated with us.
Matt Damon ends up killing his crippled wife and then going with the
Go
sister.
on.
But then the people he
Wait,
paid.
so he kills his wife to go with her sister?
Yes, and the people he paid to kill his crippled wife are starting to come back for money, so then he has to kill them, and there's this weird racial tension going on next door that doesn't mean anything until the end, and you're like, this didn't have to be racial, you're not Get Out. It's really funny, and the whole time the son is the main character, but he's abused, and then everybody dies, and he just goes and plays catch next door.
How is his wife disabled?
She was in a car crash while he was driving, and it
So he cripples her and then he kills her?
yeah, so I don't know if he was mad at her in the first place and wanted the sister, or if the handicap is tearing him apart, but he
Right.
decides the sister's better. There's a weird
But
sex
what
scene.
kind of handicap? That's what I'm going for.
She just
Waist down.
okay.
Yeah.
Just in a well, that's not that bad. Well, I'm just saying it
Oh,
doesn't
you
really
with your
make it.
strong legs over here?
Well, like if she was missing half her face or something.
He
I
looked
mean,
like he added it up. What? No, I wouldn't.
Well, if anything, that's credit to Chris. We could tell his wife if you lose the feeling in the bottom of your legs, he'll still care for you.
Yeah.
if he's driving, who knows
But
if
half
he
your
did?
face is gone.
Well,
You're
what's
done.
funny is one thing I was reading about the movie was that George Clooney directed it.
Yeah.
And he made a statement about it being a racial driven story. Like he wanted to be like the real problems in today's not white America, but stuff like that. And a lot of people are like, that went way over our head. Like I was not knowing that
It
movie
was forced. It was like high school kids were trying to put on a rally for racial indiscriminance. It was just super. They were trying to be too deep. The people that wear black berets and turtlenecks. This movie was for them.
How about for disabled rights? Is anybody rallying for those people? I mean, can we get
I've seen Me Before You.
Yeah.
And I am pro kill themselves if they want to do it. I'm all for it.
Let them kill themselves.
Well, that was the whole movie.
Remember how he dies? Remember?
Yeah, I do. It's
Gosh, that freaking
hot take. It should have been the girl.
This is so funny. I watched in real time 2 minutes before the show. You guys explain a hot take to Dick, and he has it double digits in 30 minutes. You guys have created something here.
Yeah, we've created a monster.
That's funny.
All right, so
Suburbicon, no deal.
Yeah, miss it, huh?
Miss it.
All right, super quick, and then we're gonna go to break. I saw Roman J. Israel Esquire. This is Denzel's new movie. It's in theaters now. PG-13, directed by Dan Gilroy, who he's been a writer. This is his first directorial debut. He wrote Nightcrawler, Kong Skull Island. Great writing there, right? Born Legacy. Has actors Denzel, Colin Farrell, the girl from Selma, Carmen Ejoja. And the plot is basically he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer who is a civil rights lawyer for his whole career. Never made any money. Never really been very famous. He's kind of a autistic-ish guy. And so he has his other friend who was always the in-court guy, and he was the behind-the-scenes guy. So no one really knew who he was. And his partner dies. It's the very beginning of the movie. So now he all of a sudden is kind of out of a gig. He ends up getting lured to this big firm where he starts making money. And eventually he kind of ends up going back on some of his morals and stuff. You kind of see his journey, I guess. This guy who fought so hard for civil rights kind of sells it out. And then ultimately, you kind of see where that takes him. I think the first couple of acts of this were good. I enjoyed it. I was in. It was interesting to see him and to hear about all the civil rights stuff. Towards the end, it lost me. I was over it. I was ready for it to be done by the time it was over.
Is this one of the first movies that use a plot like he's autistic, but it doesn't make him the best lawyer ever?
Well, it's one of those
Does
things
he
where
use his superpower?
It's one of those things where he is the best lawyer, but it's also his Achilles heel because he knows everything. At one point there's a scene where all these rich, uppity lawyers are there, and they're like, what is section 3012? And he's like, you know, and he like recites it. I mean, he's memorized the entire, you know, penal code or whatever it is. And so, but also he's like a total weirdo who can't like have a conversation with someone without pissing them off. So it's like, it's the double. So it's the double. Yeah. You know that except for without the genius part, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that must really be hard. And so he has all this, you know, this issue with social situations. And really, I think what I would say is Denzel, his last couple movies, it's just like, it's almost Oscar bait. Like it's all him. It's all him giving these like long speeches and being emotional and trying to overact. And I don't know.
When I saw the trailer to this movie, and y'all let me know what y'all think, I feel like Denzel Washington for like 5 years filmed movies back to back to back to back to back to back, and then they just released them slowly.
Well, why do you feel that?
I don't know, because all of his movies, it feels like he's doing the same. He's almost the same Denzel, and like, kind of like you can see the character in each one. And then it was just kind of like, oh, I did an action movie. We're gonna do a drama. We're gonna do another action. We're gonna do he always does drama and action, and I feel like they did it all in a row. They filmed it, and then it bleeds through. Because if you watch all of his movies, you can somehow interconnect them because it has like the same cinematography. Am I wrong? Am I not feeling this at all?
Well, I think what I would feel from that is that his movies aren't about the movie anymore. They're about Denzel. It's all about him. It's all about him doing his thing, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like him trying to win an Oscar for each performance he's in, where the plot doesn't really matter. The supporting characters don't really matter that much. It's just kind of him being spotlighted.
I can't believe he didn't win an Oscar for Bone Collector. I like that movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying these are bad.
Joke. It was a half joke. I do like that movie.
That's a hot take.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying the feeling of his movies. I mean, if you watch Denzel for 5 movies back to back, you get the same feeling. It's almost like reading the same book, but just a different chapter, or a different series or something like that.
Yeah, I think we're kind of saying some kind of similar things.
Just agree with me.
Yeah, hey, you're right. You're right, boss. Good job, man. All right, well, we got to go to break. When we come back, we're joined by Charles from the What's Good Houston podcast. We're going to be doing hot takes. It's going to get pretty hot in here, so stick around on the Ticket Stub.
Attention movie lovers, the Ticket Stub is a new radio show servicing Montgomery County that is meant for you. The Ticket Stub is available live every Thursday at noon on FM 104.5 and 106.1, as well as anytime on irlonestar.com. Connor and Dick will let you know what's coming out in the theater, what is worth streaming, and what's going on in the world of film. The Ticket Stub, your home for movie talk.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. Remember, you can listen to us every Thursday live on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, irlonestar.com. You can go to irlonestar.com/TTS, right, Dick? And then I don't have to say all the other stuff. But you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook. We have a YouTube channel where you can see us, see all the action, see how it goes down, see the funny faces we're making, and all that great stuff. We're joined in studio today with special guest Charles from the What's Good Houston podcast. If you missed the start of the show, we did rapid fire news, and we did a rewind of the movies. I always want to say rewound, but I don't think that's the proper term. The movies we saw from last week. Now we're going to do hot takes. Everybody's come to the table with some hot takes about movies. We're going to throw them out, and you're going to have to defend your hot take, all right? Because you don't just get to have a hot take.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can, but then you're a coward if you don't stand by it. So we're going to see how everybody does here, throw the hot takes out, and kind of see where the conversation takes us. Charles, you're our special guest. Really, you're kind of the one who was the impetus for this whole idea. Why don't we start with you, man? What's a hot take?
Quentin Tarantino is just okay.
Oh.
Just okay.
Oh, see, I have to take myself out because I can't stand him.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You hate Tarantino, right?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you've got a compatriot in your hot takery. Why?
I think his dialogue is fantastic. No matter what the movie, it always seems very natural. But as far as some of the other movies, like it seems slow. It seems like he's going for the cult classic instead of like trying to make I like big dumb movies. Like I like Die Hard. So maybe he's not writing them for me. But like when it comes to Quentin Tarantino, I'm just like, it's okay. Kill Bill was great. Hateful Eight, not so good. You know, he bounces around.
Okay, so I feel like if you're someone who self-identifies as I like big dumb movies, then I don't know that you get to have an overarching opinion about someone that's not making big dumb movies. Am I right?
You're missing out on the hot takes. Everybody gets a hot take. This is
Yeah.
this
Well,
is
yeah,
Twitter.
I would definitely agree that people who really love Quentin Tarantino are the niche people that he makes movies for. And it just sometimes it's his movies are exhausting.
What a great career to make stuff for people that only like you. Like he doesn't have to try to prove anything anymore.
But it wasn't like he was born with like a million fans who just love. I mean, you know, he didn't have a silver spoon. Like he created an audience because he made quality movies.
I don't think so. I think his face says I make snobby movies.
In a turn of events, though, it was recently announced that he might be working on a Star Trek movie.
Really?
So, like, because one thing that I would say about Quentin Tarantino that I don't like is it didn't seem like he challenges himself because he always does stuff
Kind of similar.
He always does his own thing.
Yeah.
So to me, he's a fantastic director when it comes like to making art.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's like one of the tops. But if it was me and I was in control of what his opportunities were, I'd be like, here, make the Emoji Movie, and like do it. Like I want you to make this movie and see what comes out.
Samuel L. Jackson would be the voice of somebody, no doubt.
He'd be probably the voice of the poop.
Yeah, but why would? I don't think most directors would make Emoji Movie if you were like, do what? Uh-oh, is it getting bad? Okay, here's a hot take. Here's a hot question. If Quentin Tarantino's name wasn't Quentin Tarantino, would he be as famous?
Exactly. And that face.
I don't know about.
Who would John Travolta be in the Emoji Movie? Because anyone could be the poop.
Yeah.
You just give that to the actor that
I feel like
is in every movie.
He'd be the kissy face.
I feel like Samuel Jackson's good though. He's kind of got the, you know, I don't know. He got that angry voice. So
What? Oh no! If Samuel L. Jackson was emoticon, what would it be?
I was gonna say Travolta would be the eggplant for sure. Like
Yeah.
with his recent actions, he would definitely be.
Goodness.
He's always unwanted. Like somebody else sent it to
I don't
you.
know who would
Breaking news.
hot.
who would Samuel L. Jackson be? If he was
Screaming face.
emoticon it?
Dude, is there one with a middle finger? Is there a middle finger emoji? If so, that would be him because he likes to drop the F bomb.
Is there a slap emoji?
All right, well, we're not gonna. We gotta go. We gotta go to hot takes here.
Okay,
All right,
sorry.
Chris, what's a hot take, man?
My hot take is I think the federal government should step in and make it to where movie studios cannot spend more than $20 million on a movie.
Oh wow,
That's my hot take.
okay, you liberal, get
And it
out of here,
doesn't
man.
matter.
Yeah, you want the government involved? How about let capitalism run its course?
Well, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
kidding. I'm
it's
just
20
kidding.
million flat.
Okay, because why?
Because if you look at these movies that have huge budgets, these are just a couple I pulled out. John Carter had a budget of $259 million.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's a lot.
I mean, it has no
I like
name
that
actors.
movie.
Yeah, no name actors. Yeah. It bombed at the box office big time. You could have made that movie for $20 million easy. You already have the computers for the CGI. So where's the money? Like Avatar. That entire thing is CGI. You got the computers. Why did it cost $261 million?
No Star Wars.
I don't think just owning the computers means it's free at that point. Like, people,
Why?
People have to.
You already
use-
have the technology.
but they have to like use the computer.
It's not clip art. They're not just like inserting.
I mean, like,
Well, I don't know how it works, but I mean, the guys.
I mean, I obviously don't understand it, but,
But
you have
you're
the
not paying-
computers.
you're not paying these computer gentlemen like
Whoa, gentle people.
20 million, 20 million each or something to do this, are you?
But
I
why
don't
do you?
think
But
so.
why do you care if they spend the money?
Well, I just think it's a huge waste of money.
Okay.
I mean, you know me. You
Yeah.
said it last week. I'm a bottom line guy.
Yeah.
I don't know where this. Now, I'm not saying advertisement budget.
Okay.
That just the actual production of the movie, no more than 20 million.
Okay, it would force people to actually. I think sometimes they hide behind the budget, right? They use that as a crutch, and they're not actually making a good movie. They're just making an expensive.
I just, for the life of me, do not know where this money goes.
You sound like an old man right now. Those pro athletes don't deserve to be paid millions of dollars.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Where's the Spider-Man 3? $291 million. What? It doesn't have any big name actors.
I
in it.
feel like
Who
that's
you
because they
paying?
made the first two, and they're like, it's kind of like, oh, we got to spend more money because
Yeah,
we're
go bigger.
Yeah, but you're not paying Tobey Maguire $100 million.
You're probably paying him like a 20%, 30% increase from his last paycheck.
And you got
which is like $3 million.
I mean, look at that's part of the reason
I don't
why
know, but
you could get that in the 20.
no, that's part of the reason why the Marvel universe is so expensive when you get Tony Stark in it, because he has that written in his contract where he gets paid more every time he's in a movie.
Yeah, but I think that one is like in the $300 million range as far as budget. That is crazy.
But here's the deal. How much? I mean, okay, John Carter. Let's put that one aside because it obviously doesn't work every time. But you spend $250 million on a movie, and then you make $500 million. So, like, who are you to tell the studio that was a bad investment when they made $250 million?
Well, okay, the movie Tangled, the Disney movie.
Yeah,
I think it was Disney.
Okay,
$281 million. The entire thing is animated with voice actors.
They had to pay like $10,000 per strand of hair.
They had the computers, Dick. They had the computers already.
That's dumb. They already had the computers, like he's saying. It's true. They do.
Team up with the Emoji Movie and make this happen, guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get so angry about this.
Yeah, you're really passionate.
Well, it's also I don't think we have enough experience of looking at the books. Because I feel like that 291 John Carter Mars included the advertising budget, too.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if you realized, but you said you were okay with them spending the money on advertising, but not the actual product. You were like, yeah, it's fine if they spend it on advertising, but the actual product needs to be less.
That's because he owns a movie theater.
Yeah.
He wants to advertise. Yeah, this is self-serving. All right, Dick, what's the hot take?
Okay, so my hot take is I like Star Wars Episode 1 through 3, and I like the Matrix sequels.
Okay.
That's a good hot take we can discuss.
That's a big swing.
Yeah, that's a hot take.
So it wasn't the knocked up.
Yeah, the knocked up one got dark.
I like that one.
Yeah.
But for radio reasons, I like episode 1 through 3.
But how can you defend episode 1? Like, okay, 2 and 3.
Well,
2 and 3 I can be okay with.
Episode 1 gave us pod racing scene. That scene was really cool.
That whole movie was
was fun. Yeah. Right. Episode 1 also gave us Duel of Fates, the song. So that song is made like in every Star Wars now.
Okay.
You haven't heard hear when you hear it, you hear it.
Oh, it's the bump where he's fighting Darth Maul.
When he's fighting Darth Maul. So that
what a great character that is. We wouldn't have him
Darth
either.
Maul.
No, Darth Maul was lame.
It was cool.
Hot take.
Naboo fighters were great.
Yeah.
All the little Gungan dudes was the stupidest thing. That whole
episode 2 gave us Yoda fighting, which was a surprise. No one saw that coming.
That was terrible.
But no one saw it coming.
That was stupid. And the kid from Star Wars Episode 1 was the worst. Whoever that poor kid who
you can have bad things in movies. I'm talking about what it brought to the table.
But you're saying they're good movies though.
I like them.
Jake Lloyd.
I think it was worth it.
Wow,
it was worth it.
It was okay. It was worth
making.
Worth what?
I enjoyed them.
Okay.
And then episode 2, I liked pretty much everything about that movie. So that movie did no wrong in my mind.
Okay, perfect movie. And okay, so we're talking about the Matrix for a minute.
The Matrix gave us the Merovingian. I thought that character was really cool. It gave us more depth to the computer world.
I liked Matrix 2 okay. 3 lost me for sure. 3 was tough.
Well, 3, what I liked about 3 is it gave us more of an insight of what it was like outside the Matrix.
Yeah. And
that kind of played on it for me. I liked it because you got to see, the harshness of reality because that was kind of what it was. But I just enjoyed it. I mean, to me, it's like a lot of people say like episode 1 through 3 Star Wars should never have been made. I'm like, I enjoyed them. Like, they were is what it is. It wasn't.
Star Wars nerds are like very vigilant, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, I know.
One of mine, and this isn't the one I actually want to throw out there, but my second hot take was that I think that the Star Wars trilogy they're making right now has the chance to surpass the original Star Wars.
It's a hot take.
As the ones that are most enjoyable to watch.
You mean episode 4, 5, and 6?
Episode 4, 5, and 6. I think 7, 8, 9, and I'm not saying that because it's like no one will ever act like this. 4, 5, 6 are not the greatest movies ever made or whatever, or at least as a collective unit. But I think when you're talking about if you sat people down with a lie detector and said, what do you want to watch? For sure, 7, 8, 9. And I think maybe even will be viewed as better movies by the time they're all done. But here's my actual hot take. Zac Efron will be a top 5 movie star in the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah. He'll win an Oscar.
Okay. So you're on board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hop on the hot take train.
What movie would he do where he would win an Oscar?
He's gonna get real at some point, Chris.
He's gonna
stop jacking around.
Yeah. He's gonna hit that
Speaking
that
of jacking
age.
around, jacked up. He's like super jacked
he's
up.
Gonna, He's gonna hit that age where he's like post 35, and he's gonna be his range of roles that are offered to him are gonna jump because he can play an older person or a younger person at the same time. So it's just a matter of basically odds, like how many movies he's gonna be in, what are the movies about. And what roles is he playing?
He's got to lose the washboard abs.
Well,
nobody likes that, do they?
I do. I'm in.
Do you?
Yeah, man crush for sure.
Here's my thing. Efron has taken at every level of his career arc. He's been hugely successful. So he was young. Mm-hmm. He was the Disney Channel god, right? He was the king of that. Now he's in this like like idiot, 20s phase.
Always in a frat house somehow.
And he's
every movie.
And he's dominating these fratty college age kind of movies, Baywatch being probably the most recent example. And I think he's so likable and he's funny. And I just think as he transitions, there's going to be a little bit of a void. The Rock can't keep making these movies forever. Vin Diesel can't keep making these movies forever. Schwarzenegger, Stallone, all these guys are getting old. We need some new blood to come in.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to hit that age.
Do you think he's going to go full action hero movies?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And I think he's gonna become in the same way that we talk about like The Rock and stuff. I think Efron.
See, I saw him going Leo D.
Aren't his eyes just like just a smidge
Man,
too
you
close
really
together?
pay way too much attention to movies.
The symmetry of his face.
You're getting offensive now.
He almost has a caveman-like quality.
Yeah. Chris, you bring a very interesting thing to the table, and I always appreciate it, man. Talking about his eyes. Okay, so that's my hot take. Does anybody have a quick one we can throw out before we have to go to our final break here?
Keanu Reeves is the best movie killer there is.
Best movie killer.
Yeah, mass killer of bad guys.
I was saying he could kill a movie like nobody's business.
Opposite sides of the hot take here.
Sands Lake House. That guy can kill any number of people in a room.
Yeah. Dick, you got to be on board with this hot take.
Well, yeah, I mean, he'd probably be the one actor I want to be in my movie, regardless if I've written anything. I'm like, let's just see if we can get Keanu Reeves to do anything.
No matter what it is.
Whatever.
Let's just get
he
him
can be
on.
the bus driver. I don't care. We just want him in it.
All right. So Keanu is the best movie killer. All I know is there's there's a Facebook video of him training for John Wick, and he's tactically shooting like 8,000 targets in a period of about 1 minute.
And then he gets to the throat chops when he runs out of ammo. You're not going up against the Keanu Reeves throat chop.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
There is no defense.
So I have one. I would say Ilsa from Casablanca should have stayed with Rick.
Okay.
So that's my throwback hot take.
Yeah, that's super throwback. Why do you think that?
Because Rick, I mean, they went through so much and the war's going on. Like, they both identify that they're both true loves.
Did you get a call on a rotary phone to get that hot take from Grandma?
Well, when I watched the movie, I liked that movie, and I always wanted a thing that said Rick's place at my place, Yeah. And I enjoy watching it, but throughout the movie, they talk about how much they care for each other. But then it's like at the end, it's like circumstances, if they're different.
Yeah.
But no, just screw it. You've already gone through so much. Why not?
Just be together, man.
Yeah.
I understand. That's pretty emotional. All right, hot takes. If you have any hot takes, please let us know. Post them on the Facebook, Twitter, anything like that. We're going to go to break real quick. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to give away tickets to the Grand Theater. We're also going to talk about some things coming up for next week's show and into the future. So hang with us here on the Ticket Stub.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
This is Rick TRC. Every Monday through Friday from 3 to 7. I play today's country hits on my show, Afternoons with Lone Star. The type of music that makes you want to get off your seat, stomp your feet, sing along at the top of your lungs, and not care who hears. On Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1, and as always on worldwide, irlonestar.com.
All right, welcome back to the Ticket Stub. We just have a few minutes here as we wrap it up. 5 minutes, getting the big five from Dick. We're trying to close things up. Charles from What's Good Houston, we want to let you just go ahead and plug your Twitter for us real quick.
Yeah, give us your big five.
Give us your big five.
Thanks, Dick. Guys, thanks for having me. Really, I just enjoy y'all's show. I listen to it every week, and I know how the grind can be. We try to be a really transparent show, and to see y'all going through the same stuff, I was like, man, I just like watching y'all. That's why I'm off on Thursdays, and I just appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. Glad to do it. So how can they find you? How can they find you on social media?
We are on all social media under What's Good Houston or WGH, and then we're on all the nonsense platforms for podcasts. So we're on the big one, SoundCloud and iTunes, but then there's so many little ones you have to subscribe to too. Just find us on the big one. Yeah. And you can hear sports and Houston headlines and just pure nonsense.
Yeah, and they go to a brewery a week, basically. So if you care about that, they got coffee. They got
That's right.
Recently, we're at some coffee company. So they do a lot of interviews, do a lot of talk, a lot of Houston talk, area stuff, a lot of great stuff like that. So check them out at What's Good Houston. This week for the ticket giveaway, Chris is the most generous benefactor of all time. He gives us tickets to give away for the Grand Theater every week. We are mixing it up, people. We are changing things up a little bit. We've been doing stuff via social media. Well, guess what? Not anymore, because for this week there is a what's it called?
Stipulation?
No, what's the thing? The hotline. Hotline bling.
Hot take.
No. What's the little number called that they call?
The voice line?
Voice line.
Yeah, voice message.
Voice message.
You can call whatever you want. I mean,
I'm trying to use your words here, man. All right.
Well, thank you.
You can call our hotline bling.
It's called a hot take message line.
You call the hot take message line 936-647-3776. Again, 936-647-3776. Here's what you do. You call in, you say your name, you say what show you're calling for, and then you just give us some love, man. And the one we like the best, the one that is the most overflowing with love, joy, and all those great holiday season attributes, we're going to play it on air next show, and you're going to win some tickets to the Grand. So if you want to be famous, you want to be played on the radio for literally millions who listen every week, call in 936-647-3776. One thing, if you don't keep it like PG-ish, then you're not going to make it, because we got to be we got to be appropriate, right?
Well, what about our after hours show?
Ooh, yeah, never mind. If you want to call into the after hours show, it's 9.
You guys didn't invite me?
Yeah, we review adult films.
Oh, I see.
Duh.
The Ticket Stub After Dark. Yeah, that one, we haven't released our first episode yet. But please call in. Please let us know what you think.
Did you know they made a parody for Me Before You?
No.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to get that thought in your head.
like a dirty parody?
Yeah.
What would you call it?
Me Before You.
Oh, we got to stop. All right. So,
Clock.
Oh, the things I would do to you, Clock. Our winner for the tickets this last week was Wes Smith. Congrats, Wes. You liked and retweeted our last Twitter.
Man. Oh, man. Got to get that Steadicam to work.
That's right. Hey, gosh, we're falling apart. This is starting to happen at the end of every show. We need to be like a 45-minute show, not an hour long.
Yeah.
Because we really lose steam. Chris, what are you going to watch for next week, man?
I'm going to check out Logan Lucky.
Oh, okay.
Which also, would be the same in another genre, the same title.
You could just keep it the same
Yeah,
as well.
keep the same. I forgot the movie was about NASCAR.
Yeah.
Or, a heist during a NASCAR race. So
yeah.
I'm a big NASCAR fan.
I liked it.
It's because I'm simple-minded.
They just drive in a circle. It's really simple.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
They're back.
Yep.
Oh, there they went.
Oh, they could turn right? Oh.
It's an emotional roller coaster for Chris, because he sees the cars and then they leave. But then they come back and then they leave, and he gets to enjoy it that way. All right, Dick, you going to watch something for next week?
Yeah, the TV show called Psych that hasn't been on the air for a while, they're doing a Christmas movie today. So I'm going to watch that. I'll make sure I recorded it. And that counts, right? Because it's like it's a TV movie. It says the movie.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, people are really going to be waiting to hear your review of that, I think.
Well, it's just as much as the Christmas Train? Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Well, they're probably equal quality. I'm going to try. The Disaster Artist is supposed to be coming to theaters, local theaters. If you don't know, Tommy Wiseau or whatever his name was, he made that movie The Room a while back, and it's like, kind of joked about worst movie ever made and all that. It's really, really, really bad. And that guy, I got mixed feelings, because I think that guy is like crazy / kind of a media attention, prostitute, if you will. But James Franco has put together this movie where it's kind of like a documentary, but it's not. It's like a story documentary of him making the movie. It's supposed to be really good. So that's supposed to be, I think, at some local theaters. I don't think the Grand is carrying it, unfortunately, Chris. At least not yet.
Not this Friday, we're not. No.
Yeah. So anyways, Disaster Artist, I'll come back. And the other thing, hey, be thinking about this. And if fans, if y'all have any ideas, we need to do some sort of a holiday show. And I don't just want to review holiday movies. I want us to come up with something a little more creative than that. What can we do that would be a really cool idea for a holiday show getting a little closer to the Christmas season?
You want something right now? Because we have to go.
No, not right now. I'm saying be thinking. That's why I said brew on it.
Yeah, they can call in at the message line.
Oh, call in the hotline bling. That's right. Yeah, let us know. 936-647-3776. Charles, thanks for being with us this week. Everybody, thanks for listening. Make sure you're telling a friend. We will be back next week on the Ticket Stub. See you later, guys.
Let's begin now.
Thank you for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station. Don't forget to check out this show and many others across the Lone Star Community Radio Network, either live on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, the Lone Star Internet Radio app, or irlonestar.com's live audio stream, and on replay on podcast, Channel 12's Our City TV in Conroe, or Channel 21 KVQT in Houston, and of course their YouTube channel. This production is copyrighted and all rights are reserved by Lone Star Community Radio. Have a question regarding this program or other Lone Star Community Radio shows? Want to sponsor or start your own show? Call the station message line at 936-647-3776 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.